Hey, good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Okay, it's still very nippy out there in London and I've just done the school run. I've come back and I thought, got the place to myself, let's do a quick review. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about a relatively recent purchase. I got it just after Christmas in a sale and it's from a very exciting house who are quite well known for beautiful bottles. Who could it be? Well, you know what it is, because obviously the title of the review will kind of give that away. But today we're going to be talking about this, which is called Glorious, and it's by Boadicea The Victorious. Let's just take a moment to have a look at that bottle. Look at the cap. The cap's unreal. All that going on there. And then on the back it says Glorious, a lot of engraving work. Really intricate glass. It's a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing. I'm actually wearing the fragrance at the moment. I've just done the school run. So what I'm going to do is apply a bit more, as you would expect, for the review. And then we'll list the notes and we'll talk a little bit about the perfume. Now, Boadicea The Victorious as a house have been around since, I think, 2008, and they have a staggering amount of perfumes on the market, 119. And some of those are serious money as well. Some of the higher end of the various collections that they have go for really, really big money. We're talking nearly £1,000. But they also have a lot more affordable ones, or, well, I say affordable, lower cost ones, and this is probably one of the cheapest in their collections. And I got this in a sale. I think this actually retails for a 50ml about £140. Obviously, I paid nowhere near that. I wouldn't be paying £140 for a 50ml bottle of perfume. Let me tell you that. But this is one of those ones where I tried it in store, saw the discount that was available at the time, and smelt it, liked it, bought it effectively. So that's how I've ended up with this. What we'll do is, as I say, have a look at the notes, get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself comfortable, or depending on what time of day you're watching this, pour a beer, have a glass of wine, because the note listing is quite extensive. So, in the top, we have pineapple, plum, elemi, raspberry, apricot, and apple. In the middle, we have cardamom, jasmine, nutmeg, and rose. And at the base, we have musk, we have amber, we have cedar, we have guaiac, we have patchouli, we have sandalwood, we have vanilla, we have moss. An incredible amount of materials have gone into making this perfume. And it's a really, really good one, to be honest. The one thing I will say is when you look at it on Fragrantica, which I'm sure you will do, you'll notice that the picture has a dark red plum-like juice. The liquid on this one is as clear as it gets. Now, I don't know whether that's because it's been reformulated or the photo was simply wrong. I'm not entirely sure. But trust me, if you were to buy it online and it comes in and it's got clear liquid, it's the same as mine. So, and I bought this in one of the high-end stores in London, so I know this is absolutely genuine. Just a little word on the presentation. I've got the box, but it's down in the cellar. It comes in a black box. It's very good quality. It's very thick, and when you open it up, it's all silk-lined, and your bottle sits in there, as you would expect for a niche, a luxury brand. Now, Boadicea, as I say, they've been around for quite a long time, and they tend to, as a house, they are well known for being this sort of luxury end thing. Their ethos is to provide the ultimate celebration of beauty, strength and nobility. They tend to use 3 perfumers, or they have used 3 perfumers for all their 119 fragrances, and they either use Christian Provenzano, John Stephen, or Christian Vermerel. I'll get Richard to edit this out so I don't look like a complete moron. But this one was one of Christian Provenzano's creations, and he's obviously very, very well known and highly regarded within the fragrance industry. He's worked for Fragrance du Bois, he's worked for Penhaligon's, he's worked for Clive Christian, so he's always working, well, not always, but he does quite a lot of sort of very high-end niche stuff. And this is a really interesting fragrance. When I tried it in store, I was instantly blown away and thought, I've got to have it. I love a fruity fragrance, and this is really, really fruity. So smelt it in store, went and had a coffee, went back and bought it. Fabulous. When I came home, on my way back from the store with my box, I was obviously very happy and very excited. I was sniffing my wrist, and then I had this awful moment when I was on the way back and thought, oh God. It then really, really started to remind me of another fragrance. And I was thinking, what is it? And then I had this awful moment of dread where I thought, oh God, this smells exactly like something I've already got. And then I just scrambled my mind and thinking, what is it what does it smell like? And then I got back and then it dawned on me straight away. Smelt to me at the time like this, which is Narcimatos Blamage. One of the only two Narcimatos I actually own out of the current, the only collection of Narcimato you can get. And this is Blamage. Now, the Glorious came out in 2012 and Blamage came out in 2014. So, they're kind of a similar age. And also, talking of bottles, I mean, look at how cool Blamage is. It's one of the most beautiful bottles I've got. So I was a bit nervous, and I thought if I just, spent quite a lot of money on a duplicate, effectively, of something else I've already got. I did a side by side, and they don't actually smell that much alike, but they do give an impression. So I can, I was quite few. In other words, I realised that they are closer together than I'd have liked, but they're not actually that. They're not identical by any means. And in fact, what I did when I knew I was going to review this today, I obviously applied this morning. Before I did the review, I applied Blamage to this wrist. So I've got obviously Glorious everywhere, Glorious on here, and Blamage on here, just so I'm reminded of how different they are. But they are really, really similar. So I personally think if you've got one, you probably won't need the other. But what I will say is Blamage. Bearing in mind I've only got it on this wrist and I've got Glorious everywhere else. This dominates. Blamage is a much, much louder perfume. It's got far greater projection and it's got a lot more density to it. This is a really, really nice frag. Now I've read, as when you research anything, you'll always read and try and find as much about something as you can. A lot of people are sort of saying how, what an amazing performer and stuff like that is. On me, this really, really isn't. I'm actually really disappointed with the performance on this. It lasts a long time, but after the first hour, maybe 2 hours, it's really, really soft. It sits very close to my skin, whereas Blamage doesn't. And I'm reading on Fragrantica with people that are saying that Glorious is a beast mode frag and it lasts for that. It really, really doesn't. What I will say is, this is a perfect example of buying something when you shouldn't. I'm happy I've got it to a degree. I think if it was one that I bought a decant of, I probably wouldn't have bought the bottle. And I mean that in all sincerity, because I think sometimes when we're in a store and you smell something and you buy something, you can get a bit carried away with it and think, right, I'm going to have that. If I'd had a decant of this at home, maybe a 5 or a 10ml decant, that's all I would have done with it. I'd have enjoyed the decant and I wouldn't have taken it any further. Yeah, it was a bargain, so I'm not, it's not that I've lost out on lots of money or anything like that. That's not the case. And it is a pretty bottle and it does look nice in my collection and stuff like that. But if I wanted pretty things to look at, I would look at ornaments, not bottles. The most important thing about perfume to me is what's in it. And this just, I don't know. It's nice, but the performance is not the best of any of my sort of more expensive niche fragrances. So what actually does it smell like? Well, when you look at the top, you've got pineapple, you've got plum, LME, raspberry, apricot and apple. I'm not going to bullshit you and say, oh, I can pick this out, I can pick that out, I can pick this out, I can pick that out. I can't. I think if any of these that are really, really noticeable to me, it's the apple. That just gives a little bit of sharpness, but the overall composition you get is a bowl of fruit that's been, rendered down, and it's quite syrupy. It's very, very sweet in the opening, and as that comes in, cardamom, jasmine. The jasmine sort of kind of gives it a little bit of a floral air to it, and I think the spices just do something to temper that sweetness and stop it becoming unbearably sweet or overly cloying, which it doesn't. It is a really, really pleasant wear. When it carries on through its quite long life, the musk becomes more apparent and then all the woods come into play. What I will say is, of all the base notes in there, the one that comes across to me the most is the cedar. And that comes across to me quite pencil shaving like in places, which leads me to think maybe there's some ISOE Super in here or something like that, which I haven't got a problem with. It's an important material. Lots and lots of perfumers use it. It helps with longevity. It helps with smell. You know, it's good. I've no issues with that at all. So what you'll get with this is a very sweet, very fruity opening with a little bit of spice, but not overly spiced. It's not too heavy. It's quite light. The overall feeling of wearing this is of quite a light perfume, especially on my skin, and it does smell pleasant. It's a lovely smell. I like this perfume a lot. I'm a little bit let down by the fact that I thought it was going to be a lot bigger, because when it hits your skin in the first spray, it comes, you know, there's a lovely, you know, and in my head I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to be careful with this one. It's a beast mode. Really isn't beast mode at all. It's probably the complete opposite of beast mode. It's pleasant, it's nice, it's long lasting, but it's quiet on my skin and it's very, very soft. And for what you would pay for this, especially if you were buying a 100ml bottle, which is like way over £200, I would expect much more in terms of projection and sillage. Apparently the sillage, you know, some people are saying the sillage is really, really good. I don't think it is. Well, I've worn it quite a few times because, as I say, it's a pleasant fragrance and I enjoy it. No one's ever commented on it. It's not one that picks up compliments, or certainly not for me anyway. And you know, it's nice. What I will say in its favour is it's one that you can wear all year round. This will be fine. It's not too heavy. So if you've got an urge to wear something fruity and woody in the summer, you could certainly wear this. It's just not that heavy or dense that it's going to become cloying or, you know, react badly with heat. It's really, really good in the winter. It gives you a nice warm feeling that sweetness, you know, conveys to me. So in that respect, it's probably worth exploring. What I will say, again, going back to this lovely, lovely bottle, I have got concerns about this as well, because when you take the cap off, it feels like it's pulling on the cuff. I don't know whether that's just going to loosen up in time or what, I don't know, but it feels a little bit fragile when you're doing that. And for something quite as pretty as this, I really don't want it to malfunction or not be as pretty as it should be. But again, just have a look at the engraving on there. It's lovely. You know, the whole presentation is glorious. See what I did there. So yeah, would I recommend a blind buy? No, I really wouldn't. It's one you're going to need to try and work out for yourself, because it is going to be expensive. Even if you do get it in a sale, it's still never going to be cheap. Maybe if you pick up a partial in a group or something like that, might be worth looking at. But it's a nice perfume. It's totally unisex, which is good. I think any age can wear it. And because of its performance, you can wear it absolutely anywhere. You can wear it to work, you can wear it out, you can wear it to theatre, you can wear it skydiving, you can wear it on a flight. You can wear this anywhere. It's just because it's so soft after such a short period of time. If you were, for example, going to an airport to fly somewhere, you could apply this very, very liberally. By the time you're getting on your flight, it's going to be quite close to the skin, so you're not going to fog the plane out or, anything along those lines. And the same applies for work. If you're working in an office, this would be this would be a really, really good office scent, because it is, it smells nice. You will smell nice, but it will be sitting quite close. So if you're looking for something that's fruity, that's unisex, that's actually quite interesting, then have a look at it, because it's a nice frag. If you're looking for something a little similar, a lot more exciting with a lot better performance, have a look at Blamage. Now, on the cost point, this isn't a cheapie either. I got this through a group, so I didn't pay full retail for it. Blamage is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and it is quite a big hitter. It seems to project and have enormous sillage. Fruity and musky, and a little bit of that Gaultieri magic in there makes this, for me, a lot more of an exciting fragrance than Glorious. But, as you can probably gather, I like this, but I don't love it. It's not one that I would have bought if I'd sampled, as I said earlier. And when I eventually get through it, and I have actually got through quite a lot of that, considering I haven't had it that long, so I must... that could be because of the performance and I just want it to be louder and I keep spraying it, or I've worn it a lot more than I think I have. I'm not entirely sure. But in closing, sample this first. inoffensive, sweet, woody fragrance is basically about it. Listen, thank you very much. I've got a day off today, so I'm actually going to try and get a few reviews filmed today. So you're going to see me wearing the same clothes doing reviews today. So don't think there's anything weird with that. It's just when I've got a bit of time, I try to make hay while the sun shines. So trying to get a few reviews done. I hope you enjoy them. Once again, welcome to all our new subscribers, and thank you to all our existing subscribers. And we will be back soon with another review. Have fun, take care, and bye!